Hello, good evening, and welcome to the United Sam. Breaking news: Cristiano Ronaldo will wear the number 7 shirt at Manchester United this season. Look, guys, I think it was definitely something that we were sort of expecting, right? We all had the idea in our head. Look, it's CR7, it's Cristiano Ronaldo. He has to wear number 7, right? He can't possibly wear any other number 28 or whatnot, wherever he was sporting. People really did think he was going to wear the number 7 shirt, and it's come out now officially that he will be wearing that number 7 shirt. Cavani has, I believe, moved to number 21. Yep. Cavani's moved to number 21. And so CR7 will remain. Look, exciting times, right? I think the signing of Ronaldo has definitely been incredibly exciting. You see everyone talking about the way it sort of lifted the spirits at the club for staff, employees, fans themselves. It's a big deal. And, to sort of top it off, well, I don't want to say top it off, right? Because, of course, CR7 is nice, but him topping it off would be, a debut, a couple goals in a debut. That would be the best way to top it off right now. But it's exciting. It's exciting that he's able to get that number 7 shirt. And I think we were waiting for this to eventually happen. We're seeing everybody spamming the CR7 shirt. See, guys, I can't wait for that first game when he scores his goal, runs into the corner, does his little... Oh my God, it's going to be too lit. It's going to be too lit. But yeah, CR7 will be wearing number 7. You guys, I think a lot of people are probably excited now. They can go get their shirts, right? You can see him there in the headline section. He's got his number 7 shirt. There's Cristiano Ronaldo. Look, as a whole, I think there's plenty of reason to be excited this season when it comes to Ronaldo playing for our team. I don't think I've actually spoken much about, Ronaldo and what that means on the channel. So I guess we'll talk about that for a bit. But if you're just joining now, you can say the special word "see," not swoo, not sweet. If you know, you know. But you can say "see." Cristiano Ronaldo is wearing the number 7 shirt. Exciting times. Now, Ronaldo is obviously he's actually been sent home early from. I don't want to say sent home like it's a bad thing, but he's been allowed to leave Portugal early. He's not going to be able to play against Azerbaijan because he got a yellow card. Funny enough, he got a yellow card for taking off his shirt. To celebrate, breaking the all-time international goal-scoring record. But because of that, he's not going to be able to play in Portugal's next match. And so I believe he's been allowed to leave the Portugal national squad to go to Manchester. And that in itself is exciting, right? It means that there's a good chance now he probably will be ready to actually play for that first game. I believe there maybe even is a quarantine that he might have to do. Pardon me. But, the fact that it looks like we're going to be able to get him in for that game against Newcastle and he's going to be wearing that number 7 shirt is it's magical, man. It's a thing of dreams to have him back. It's a thing of dreams. Look, of course, we know, right? We know that, we needed players in certain positions, right? And I think as a whole, you look at transfer strategies in the modern football game now, and, the main transfer strategy of most squads is you go out there and you buy players for your weakest positions. You look at your weakest positions and you buy players there. That is the modern strategy. And that's what we've, wanted to do. And that's what we were doing, right? Where we bought a right wing, we bought a centre back, and the goal was to buy a number 6. The problem is obviously we didn't do that. But if you're taking away the idea of, that sort of strategy where you're buying players to improve your squad for a certain position or improve a weak point, if you're just thinking about just transfers as a whole, theoretically, right? And you were to say to me, Levin, what do you think is like the best possible transfer, of all players available in world football now? Like, what do you think would just be the best transfer? I'm talking just, elite player, go into a team and it creates so much excitement and creates so much hype. Honestly, I don't think there is a bigger, better transfer than actually Ronaldo. Ronaldo signing for Manchester United. The only thing I think that could ever come close in the next couple of years is Messi going back to PSG potentially, right? That's the only thing I could see happening. I'm seeing, check Twitter, Cavani transfer request. What's going on here? Cavani, can you guys tell me where are you seeing this? Where are you seeing this? I'm trying to check right now. Has Romano said something? Am I missing something here? Cavani transfer. Am I getting trolled? Oh, I've had a you guys are not okay. There's no way. I'm not seeing no Cavani transfer request. Anyway, until somebody can tell me where I can see this Cavani transfer request, I don't want to hear it no more. It's a troll. It's a troll. It's a troll. Nevertheless, because I actually have just seen a quote from Cavani. Wait, I've just seen a quote come from Cavani about the shirt. Let me read it out. Oh, no, it wasn't about the shirt. It says, I wasn't sure if it would be possible for me to have the number 7 shirt again, so I'd like to say a huge thank you to Eddie for this incredible gesture. That was from Ronaldo. You know, a big thank you. A big thank you from Ronaldo to Edison Cavani. You gotta love Eddie Cavani, man. Giving up the shirt, switching to number 21. Obviously that number's available now because Dan James is gone, which is great. Trollbridge, you know what? Yeah, Mark. You know, I'm gonna get Mark back. I will get Mark back at some stage. Mark and I, we're gonna be doing a pro clubs for FIFA 2020, FIFA 22. We're gonna do pro clubs, yeah, and I'll get him back then. Trust me. But nevertheless, what was I saying? Yeah, if you were to think of like the best possible transfer, like, you know, Ronaldo back to Manchester United is like, it's the only one that I think, you know, creates that level of excitement just around football in general. Like, and the only one that I think could match it would be if Messi eventually goes back to PSG. Like, there's no other sort of elite players at that level that could move to a club and it would just create this level of excitement and this, you know, because I've seen, you know, people who don't support United who have been saying, look, I'm not gonna lie, man, that is so exciting. You know, that Ronaldo transfer is so exciting. And so even though I think you can look at it tactically, and, you know, there's plenty to be said about it tactically. And I think we'll get to the tactical side of things. I think there's people who watch and they, you know, they want to hear my tactical insight and my ideas about things. But just from a pure, you know, just the story of football, you know, the storyline of football per se, I just don't think there is a better transfer out there than Ronaldo back to United, you know, and for that alone, you know, it's so, you know, you can't help but be excited about it. Like, you can't sort of look at it and go, you know what I mean? Like, it is just such a brilliant thing. And we know what he is. He's a veteran goal scorer. He's coming in here and he will score goals. He's wearing that number 7 shirt again. He's going to come in. He's going to score goals. And ultimately, you know, he's back to really help this team get back to where we should be, the promised land. And, you know, I think he'll be able to do that. I think he'll be able to do that. Slow Sports News, what Sky reporting that? Well, let me guess. Sky reporting that what? Sky reporting that Cavani's considering giving up the shirt. Yeah, wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me. Look, I'll say this about Ronaldo. I'll say this about Ronaldo and the whole CR7 thing. There are kids, people like me. I'm still young. I'm still quite young myself. I'm a kid. I still consider myself a kid. There are kids like me who grew up and you know, we idolize Ronaldo, right? You know, you grow up and that's all you know. You know, CR7, you think to yourself, you know, I'm in the playground in primary school and I'm trying to be like Ronaldo. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm saying to my friends, yeah, I'm like Ronaldo. I'm trying to take free kicks. I'm standing there like doing the heavy breaths that he used to do. You know, I'm trying to be Ronaldo. You know, there's kids that grew up idolizing him in that way, you know, and I was one of them. And now there will be kids who grow up and they get to do the same. They get to idolize Ronaldo the way I got to. And that in itself is a beautiful thing. So I'm really happy. I'm really happy he's back. The tactical side of things. Do you guys want to know the tactical sides of things? Do you guys want to know the tactical side of things? Do you want to have a conversation about tactics, or do you want to keep it? Let's keep it all rosy and talk about the semantics of CR7 back with the number 7 shirt. Or do you want us to talk of the football side of things? Because there's plenty to be said there. And of course, many of the questions will just be answered when we actually see Ronaldo playing. But it's fun to theory craft. It's fun to theory craft. Why not? Loving the show. Great work. Yeah, I appreciate that. Shout out to Mark for doing what he did. I'm getting people going, oh my God, Mark's done you there. Guys, I will live. Like, I will live. You know, trust me, I will live. And I've not actually been watching the England match. I do wonder how that's going. Nevertheless. Anyway, back to Ronaldo. I'm getting distracted now. So when it comes to Ronaldo coming back to the club, of course, you know, we are in a position where, you know, we have a copious amount of attacking talent already. Before Ronaldo's, you know, joined us, we already had an incredible amount of attacking talent. And you add Ronaldo to that, and of course, he is somebody that demands to play. He will play week in, week out. He is going to be in the starting lineup. That's just how it is with Ronaldo. And of course, you know, you think to yourself that pushes someone down the pecking order. And I think many people will look at that and won't be too bothered just because, you know, when you look at how good of a player Ronaldo is, you know, you might not be too bothered if it means Martial gets less game time or Rashford gets less game time or whoever it ends up being, because it will be somebody. Now, the one aspect of it that it will be interesting to sort of see and sort of follow is someone in chat said Ronaldo transfer request. I don't know about that one, big man. I don't know about that one. But the one aspect of it that will become interesting is, of course, over the past year or so, Ollie's figured out that he wants to use Pogba as a left winger. He wants to play him in a more advanced position. And the reality is that he really, I don't think he can afford to do that now with Ronaldo coming in, because Ronaldo coming in, playing as a striker, now Ronaldo's basically nailed on, you know, basically going to start every game, right? So now, instead of having a bunch of attacking talent who are sharing all three of those positions, you now have a bunch of attacking talent who are really sharing two positions, right? Other than Ronaldo, there isn't anyone that's a guaranteed starter. Of course, based off of what we've seen, you know, we know Ollie would rather pick Rashford, for example. So you know there's people who are favorited, but everyone's got to work for their spot in theory. And you can't keep Pogba in that rotation of cycling for those two positions. You know, if you're doing that, it becomes very hard. It then becomes quite a few players who are missing out, because then you're only going to be able to play one of Rashford, Sancho, Greenwood, Martial, and that's a problem. And based off of the fact that it seems like Ollie's guaranteed Lingard playing time, I'll even chuck Lingard's name in there. So what does that mean? It means that realistically, Pogba has to come back into playing into the midfield, and it, you know, forces him even more now to play Pogba in the pivot alongside either Fred, Matic, McTominay, whoever it be. Now, realistically, the game against Wolves, he played Pogba in the pivot because McTominay was still out, right? And it gave him a chance to use more of his attacking talent out wide and whatnot. But Pogba in the pivot, playing alongside Fred, you know, it's not a combination that I'm very excited about and very hopeful for moving forward this season. Goldbridge said sorry. Goldbridge is sorry. Goldbridge says sorry. He did. Did he? Mark, sorry. Is he sorry, guys? Should I forgive him? I'm trying to contemplate. Should I forgive him? Goldbridge ain't sorry. Goldbridge is never sorry, guys. Don't believe him. You know what I mean? Don't believe this Goldbridge guy. He's never sorry. Do not believe him. Nevertheless, I hate to do a video talking about Ronaldo and find a way to bring it back to the midfield situation, but that is something that we have to watch out for. What does Ollie now do in the pivot? Because he's not really, like, realistically, I don't see him being able to play Pogba week in, week out off the left, and he's not going to put Pogba on the bench, is he? So he's going to play Pogba, and he's going to play him in the pivot. And we saw in that game against Wolves, you know, you need a certain, if you're going to play Pogba in the pivot, you need a certain type of player next to him there, and we don't have that player. And that is going to cause us plenty of issues moving forward from a tactical sense. That is something that, you know, creates more questions than it does create answers. Another big thing with Ronaldo is that, you know, this is an indictment of Ronaldo, by the way. I'm not talking down on Ronaldo because this is something that Messi does as well. But defensively, Ronaldo is in like the bottom 1% when it comes to pressures of all players in Europe, right? And if you don't understand what that basically means, is essentially, you know, in layman's terms, he's not pressing much. He's not doing as much defensive responsibility and not doing as much defensive work, something that Cavani does incredibly well. And it's fine. It's fine when Messi and Ronaldo do it because they are sort of conserving their energy for the attacking phase of the game. They've both been able to retain their careers for an extended amount of time because they do that so well. The question does become then in big games when we're playing against teams like Man City and Chelsea and whatnot, you know, when we're in the defensive stage, if Ronaldo isn't committing and helping out on defense, you know, you're almost handicapped in that sense, right? You know, that is something that, how does Ollie work around that? It's a problem that I think PSG will have in the Champions League against big teams, right? They have a front three of Mbappe, Neymar, and Messi. None of those guys really does much defensive work, right? So how do you defend around that? How do you deal with that? That's going to be something for Ollie to sort of figure out himself. There are going to be lots of questions. The one question that is already answered, though, what I will say, regardless of those 2 points that I've made, the one question that is guaranteed, will Ronaldo score goals? Yes. He will just score goals. Ronaldo is just inevitable. You know, you guys know them players, yeah, that they are just inevitable. You know that feeling. If you've watched, Marvel films, you've watched Thanos and that. You know how Thanos is. He's like, I am inevitable. Them players that are just inevitable. Ronaldo's going to score a goal. You know what? During the Euros, if you watch the Euros, there was another player during the Euros who had that feeling about him, right? You remember Chiesa for Italy during the Euros? He just had that feeling where it's like, yeah, he's inevitable. He is just going to stomp down the pitch and score your goal. And Ronaldo is very much that, and he's been that throughout his whole career, where he is just inevitable. He will just get goals, even when there is turgid football being played, on the behalf of whatever team it is he's playing for, he will find a way to grab you goals and nab you goals. Those goals are going to be so... That's going to be a way that, if you watched the Portugal match yesterday, that is going to be something to watch out for a lot this season. Those sort of goals where the ball is coming in from that, right-hand side, whether that be the right inside channel or out wide, crosses coming in, Ronaldo back post. And it's so unfair. Think about Ronaldo, right? Because typically, when he drifts out left that side and he's the one taking the aerial battle there, he's against a right back. What right backs, guys, please, someone in chat tell me right now, what right backs can deal with Ronaldo in the air in the Premier League? Like, both of them jumping up to deal with it. What right back's going to deal with him? I don't know. Who you're going to tell me? Kyle Walker? I don't know who's dealing with him. I'll be right. I don't know who's dealing with him. So we all know how that's going to end. It's going to end in a Ronaldo header, and that's just how it's going to go. That's just how it's going to go. So, these are the kind of attacking threats, we will now have plenty more of this season. It's going to be fun. We should score a lot of goals. But, there will be questions for Oli to answer around other areas of the pitch. Somebody said Trent. Come on, man. Trent's a brilliant right back. He's not handling Ronaldo in an aerial battle. He's not. Swoo. If you know, you know. Your green screen is visible. Who would have thought? Oh my goodness! No way. You guys can see the green screen. You know what, guys? I'm sorry. I'm gonna end the show. I'm sorry. I can't. I didn't realize. Levin, Ronaldo will leave when he plays with Fred. Oh, flipping out, man. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Come on. Financially, Cavani made us 100 million alone this week by giving the 7 to Ronaldo. Probably Cavani's last dance 2 for a Champions League trophy. Yeah, well, look, it was rumored that Cavani, sorry, does want to sort of go back to Argentina, right? Or not Argentina, he's not from Argentina, but he was rumored that he wants to go back to South America, probably play in the Argentinian league. So yeah, this could be Ronaldo's, not Ronaldo, I keep saying Ronaldo. This could be Cavani's last real chance to compete for a Champions League trophy. So I'm glad Fred speaks Portuguese. Yeah, that will be useful. Guys, we sort of have like in terms of like the languages spoken on the pitch, like we have like just a bunch of French players, English players, and Portuguese speaking players. And then there's like De Gea, who speaks Spanish. But everybody else, right, is just speaking, or like can speak English, Portuguese, and French. CR7 is last Premier League player to win Ballon d'Or. Levin to Manchester United. Here we go. I don't know if I'd be able to do a job at, CDM. I probably could. I could put in a shift in the air maybe. But the lungs, I ain't really got the lungs or the legs for it anymore. I had a knee injury. Ronaldo can speak English. Yeah, Ronaldo can speak. If you haven't watched, he did an interview. And in the interview, he talked about, Sir Alex Ferguson being pivotal for his move back. He talks about fans being back and how important that is. He talks about how he's so happy that we still sing Viva Ronaldo. So, yeah, he speaks English. I'm sure. I'd like to hope he speaks English of how long he was at the club and how, global of a superstar he is, sorry. Who's your favorite footballer of all time, though? You asking me or just asking people in chat? I don't know. Levin, you are better than Fred. Okay, I'm not going to go that far, guys. I'm not going to go that far. Guys, 11 is 19. I am indeed 19. I am indeed 19 years old. I am indeed 19-year-old. Mark my words, Ronaldo will score a belter against Newcastle. I'm looking forward to that game. If any of you guys are going to be at that game in chat, let me know. Let me know. I don't think I'll be at that one. I think I will be, though, at West Ham. The West Ham game away. So hopefully I'll get to see Ronaldo. Hopefully he plays in that game. You'd like to think so. We'll see us having eventually replace Ollie. Bloody hell, you guys are getting ahead of yourselves rather quickly, aren't you? He's only just been announced back to the squad. You're talking about him replacing Ollie as a manager. He's still got plenty years at the top level of football. I can assure you that much. I don't think Ronaldo would get into management after his career. I feel like he'd, just live his life. Just live his life. Donny as a number 6. Well, look, if Donny's going to get game time this season, it's going to be playing in the pivot. Of course, we know he's been playing games in the pivot, with Matic. And the thing with Matic and Donny in the pivot is that's one of the. It's weird because Matic is very difficult now, where Matic has regressed a bit physically. Pardon me. And so teams very much will press him very quickly. Pardon me. Teams are very quick to press him. In the Southampton game, that's how they dealt with Match. They were all over him and they pressed him really well. And the problem is that it sort of forces him to make very basic passes, whereas we know Matic for being able to make really good line breaking passes, but he hasn't been given the freedom to do that because teams just press the hell out of him because they know that he can't really do much elsewhere. And the problem is that if you have Matic in a pivot with Fred's movement and positional awareness isn't good enough to get into space to be able to receive the ball from Matic, right? And so that's why a Donny Matic pivot works, because Donny at least will get into space and, they change up their position where, they create better angles to be able to play through people's presses, whereas Fred just isn't as good as that. It's the reason why as well, the pivot of Pogba and Fred didn't work too well in the most recent game against Wolves, where a lot of the time Pogba and Fred are on the same sort of attacking line, and that doesn't work, right? You need them to be, You need them to be not symmetrical, but you need them to be like on different sort of lines so that you create more angles and you can get the ball through a press better. But that's basic coaching of how a pivot should work. CS7, Fred can't defend, pass dribble only, tenacity talks. And even you talk about his tenacity, I think he had 9 ground jewels in that game and he won 2 of them. He's having a really poor run of form, and hopefully he gets back to good form, because at the end of the day, Fred's going to be the one that plays the majority of the season. So we just have to hope he gets better. We're not bringing in a DM now. So we have to hope he, this poor run of form that he's on ends soon. But staggered. Thank you, Zizou GT. Shout out Zizou GT in the chat. You got to be staggered when you're in a pivot. Otherwise, it's just not effective, is it? Not effective. Any job openings? Well, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know where you're asking for a job to be offered. But yeah, guys, once again, if you joined late, Ronaldo has officially been announced as the number 7 as well. CR7 is back. Of course, you can purchase your shirts and whatnot. I'm sure the website, the shop is, about to break. In fact, no, it wouldn't. They would have made sure they'd make sure the website has enough bandwidth and whatnot to deal with all the people coming in. So I'm sure the website will be perfectly fine. And you'll be able to buy your shirts perfectly fine. Teller shouldn't play DM. I know. I think people are now very open to just trying anybody there because they're sort of sick and tired of Fred, understandably. But I don't think any of the solutions I've heard would be real solutions. And I don't think we'll see any of them. I don't think we'll see Tellez tried as a DM. I don't think we'll see Lindelof tried. I don't think we'll see I've heard people say Bailly. We're not going to see Bailly tried as a DM. We will just use either Fred, Matic, McTominay, or whoever in that position, realistically. What of Donny van der Beek and McTominay midfield? It could work. I'd like to see it tried again. I think it was tried a couple times last season, and I don't remember it being bad. So it'll be interesting to try. I think if Fred's poor run of form continues, I think we're likely to see McTominay used in Fred's role, which is a shame because I don't think McTominay is that player. But he may be asked to do that role. McTominay's a much better sort of carrier of the ball, and he likes to progress the ball forward as a carrier. But he might be asked to play more of a holding midfield role if it doesn't go well with Fred. I could see that happening. Do you think United really need Ronaldo? The reality is we didn't really need Ronaldo. We didn't need another striker right now. I actually was a fan of the balance we had where, you know, you look at Cavani last season, Cavani started half of the games he played and he came off the bench in half of them. And I think that was a good balance for him. And I think with just how Greenwood's played, you know, I was perfectly fine of seeing Greenwood feature more and more. So I don't think we needed Ronaldo, but it's an upgrade, a significant upgrade. And in that sense, it's, you know, I don't, you know, dislike it. And I think more so than it just being an upgrade in terms of striker, it's Cristiano Ronaldo, you know? So, and that alone is just more exciting than anything else you can sort of think of. So. Thoughts on Joel Glazer at CDM? Guys, I bet you Joel Glazer doesn't know what a CDM is. If you just said, yo, do you want to play CDM? I don't think he'd know what that was. Genuinely, I don't think he would. Ask him if he wants to play quarterback, and there you go. He'd be able to let you know swiftly. You think it might decrease Greenwood's progress? You know what? I actually don't think it would decrease Greenwood's progress. If anything, you know, I heard a take from The Athletic that I really thought was an interesting one where, you know, we have seen in Premier League history over the past couple of years and whatnot, we've seen great young players be overplayed. You know, and I think ultimately the amount of football Greenwood is getting at the moment is great. You know, I think him coming in, being able to start a lot of games, but potentially also be used as a bench option in a lot of games, I think that's a good balance for someone his age because he's still quite young. And I think when you look at Ronaldo's timeline, it's basically a 3-year contract. It's 2 years with a 1-year option. In 3 years, Greenwood's going to be about like 21, 22. He's going to be so young. He would have had so much experience. He still would have played so much football that by the time Ronaldo leaves, we're not going to be in a vacuum where we think, oh, dear, we need a striker, because hopefully by that time, Greenwood will be perfectly ready. And I think he will be. I think if you're looking at anybody who's going to be affected, I think the number one person who will be affected by this is Anthony Martial. I think Anthony Martial is probably the most likely to be sort of negatively affected by this, because ultimately, the problem with Martial right now is I don't think Martial is finished. You know, I think there's people who aren't Martial fans who think, you know, Martial is done and whatnot. Martial's not finished. He very much, you know, there's talent there. There is definitely talent there, but he needs minutes under his boots. You know, he's coming back from a long injury and bad run of form. You know, he needs to get minutes under his feet. The problem is where's he going to get minutes? He can't get minutes here. I don't see where he's going to get minutes. You know, with Ronaldo ahead of him, probably Sancho ahead of him, Greenwood ahead of him based off of his form. Rashford comes back and Rashford's probably playing over. Like, I don't see where Martial's going to get the minutes to be able to get back to, you know, a good level of form. And so that could be really bad for him. So I think if anybody's going to suffer because of Ronaldo, it's more likely to be Martial than Greenwood or anyone else. But yeah, guys, comment down below. What do you think of CR7 being back? Ronaldo is getting the number 7 shirt. Let me know in the comment section down below as well. Let me know if you are going to buy the shirt. If you're going to buy the shirt, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll be responding to people's comments. How about that? Martial could play left wing. You know, I think Martial's best bet is to try and become a left winger again, yeah, and try compete with Rashford, because that's not an unwinnable battle for him. Martial versus Rashford for the left wing position. If Martial can get back to his best form, yeah, he can definitely beat Rashford for that spot. So yeah, I think if he's going to do anything, he needs to be trying to compete for that. You know, Rashford and Martial competing on the left, Greenwood and Sancho competing on the right, with Greenwood also trying to play up front as well, and then Cavani and you know, Ronaldo as the strikers, probably. Already done. A lot of people saying they've already bought the shirts. Already, a lot of people saying CR7 is just the go. Yeah. A lot of people saying already buying the shirt. So yeah, let me know in the comment section below. Thank you guys all for watching. I appreciate you guys all get Mark back and say Greenwood hip injury. No, come on, no. Knock on wood, man. No. We're not doing. We're not doing. I'll get Mark back somehow. Don't worry, guys. If you support me and you're here for me, be sure to follow me. I'm gonna get Mark back somehow. Don't know how yet, but I will get him back. Nevertheless, though, thank you all for watching the video. I appreciate you guys hanging out so very much. CR7 is back. Number 7 is going to be Ronaldo's, and I'm really looking forward to it. Of course, that game against Newcastle is going to be so exciting. I can't wait to see how the team lines up, but we're just going to have to wait and find out. Nevertheless, my name has been 11-2K. You can catch me on all my social medias at 11-2K. See you guys all soon.